Hello everyone and welcome to lecture number 11. In the last lecture, in the previous lecture, we have studied about the microwave sources and devices, and in that we have started with two cavity klystron. We have studied two cavity klystron, okay? And in that we were having two cavity were there, okay? Such kind of two cavity were there, and we were having an electron gun over there. Such kind of assembly was there, okay, over here, and the potential was given to this electron gun, okay? The potential was given. This is gap A, this is gap B, this is buncher cavity, this is catcher cavity, and with respect to Applegate diagram, we have studied the work function, the working principle or the work function of this two cavity klystron. Now, remember that with the help of two cavity klystron, you can have the amplification. But if you want higher amplification, if you want higher order of amplification, then such kind of cavities can be added more, okay? Such cavities can be added more in the path, okay? And each cavity will try to have its amplification, okay? Each cavity will try to add its amplification, okay? And that is known as multi-cavity klystron amplifier. That will be known as multi-cavity klystron amplifier. Let us see the basic structure of it. This is the multi-cavity klystron amplifier that is having 4 cavity. We can see here it is electron gun and here it is collector, okay? The first cavity is RF input and the last cavity is the output, okay? Now over here, each cavity, this is buncher cavity, this is buncher cavity, this is catcher cavity. Now again, this cavity will act as a buncher cavity for the previous one, and this will act as a catcher cavity. Again, this will act as a buncher cavity with respect to the previous one, the next coming cavity, okay? So each individual cavities will work as buncher and catcher cavity in between these two cavities, and will try to amplify the signal. Signal which is been given over here will amplify in this cavity, okay? That amplified signal will further amplified in the third cavity, and that third cavity signal which is been double amplified will act as an input to the fourth cavity, and it will be amplified over here, okay? So it will have 3 times amplification. First it will be amplified over here, second over here, and third over here, okay? So this is all about multi-cavity klystron. Over here you can have more number of cavities. This more number of cavities can be added with respect to the desired requirement of the amplification ratio or amplification factor. If you want more amplification, if your power gain, the gain of the power is very high, okay? If suppose you have a radar system where you need to send a very strong electromagnetic waves from one point to another point, then you need to transmit the signal from the antenna with a very high power. If you need to have very high power, you have to use multi-cavity klystron amplifier, okay? This klystron amplifier is only with 4 cavity, but this is for just an example. In practice, if it is very high power is needed, number of such cavities can be added. Number of such cavities can be added over here, okay? Number of such cavities can be added if it is required to have a high power, okay? Remember over here, this is gap A, this is B, this is C, this is D. the signal at A will be amplified at B and given to B. Further, signal to B is amplified and given to C. It's having double amplification. And again that signal is amplified and given to D. Okay, so it will have triple amplification. Okay, so that is why it will have very high power. Okay, so this was all about multi-cavity klystron. Rest all the operation can be understood with respect to two cavity klystron, with respect to two cavity klystron amplifier. Okay, rest can be understood the operating principle with two cavity klystron amplifier. That is, it will only have these two cavities. Okay, it will only have these two cavities. Rest two will not be there. Okay, that is what we have discussed in the lecture number 10. This is for 4 cavity klystron. Okay. So this was all about the multi-cavity klystron amplifier. Now the next topic is reflex klystron. Okay, the next topic is reflex klystron. We are going to study, that is reflex klystron. Okay, what do you understand by reflex klystron? This is known as oscillator. This is not an amplification amplifier. This is an oscillator. Okay, means we will not have RF input signal. Okay, we are going to study reflex klystron, and that is nothing but the oscillator. You know, the oscillator will not have the input signal. We will not provide input signal. Okay, we will not provide RF input signal to an oscillator. Oscillator will itself generate a signal. Okay, so this is a oscillator with just one cavity. Okay, it will only have one cavity. With respect to what we studied in the previous topics, there were minimum 2 cavities are required for amplification, but over here reflex klystron is nothing but an oscillator or a generator. Okay, radio frequency generator is there. Okay, radio frequency generation can be done in this klystron. Radio frequency generator is there, or in general it is been known as oscillator, right? What is the basic fundamental of reflex klystron is, we can see that it will have only one cavity. It will have only one cavity. The rest all part will be the same, as electron gun will be there, and this will be connected to power supply. Okay, and this kind of cavity will be there. This kind of cavity will be there, and what is going to be added, that you will have a reflector. You will have a reflector. Okay, you will have a reflector. Okay, you will have a reflector, means the electron coming from this point will reflect back. Okay, coming from this point will reflect back. How it is been reflected? It is been reflected with respect to potential. This reflector will be provided will be at some potential. Okay, will be at some potential, and with respect to that, definitely it's going to be a negative potential. Okay, so that the electron, this negative electron, is going to repel. So this is the general discussion of that. Let us see the basic construction of reflex klystron. Okay, so this is the basic construction of a reflex klystron. Okay, we'll see one by one everything. This is the electron gun. Okay, this is the electron gun. This is the only anode cavity. This is the only anode cavity we used to have in this reflex klystron. Okay, remember, we'll only have one reflex anode cavity in reflex klystron. Okay, and you can see that we have two supplies, that is VA and RA. Okay, we have two different supplies, that is VA and RA. VA is nothing. VA is just to make the flow of electron. The flow of electron. Okay, in this direction, in this direction, in this direction, and this VR is nothing. As I told you, this is the negative terminal. This is the negative terminal. So this will also be a negative. This will also be a negative repeller. This is repeller electron. This is repeller space. This will also be a negative. This reflector is also known as repeller electron, is negative. And electron coming from over here will be reflected. Will be reflected. Okay, electron will be reflected or repelled back. Electron will be repelled back. Electron will be repelled back. So this is done by with respect to RA potential. Potential given with RA is responsible for the repelling or the reflection or repelling of the electron. Okay, electron will come back, electron will go back. Now the question arises that from where do the oscillations come? We know that this is the flow of electron beam. This is the flow of electron beam to amplify or to generate an RF output. This is the voltage across the gap, and this is the position of the gap. We know that this we have studied this Applegate diagram, but there has to be some oscillations. Okay, for the sustained generation of RF output. We all know that in each and every system, you will have a noise level, or you will have some electronic disturbance. You will have a some very small tiny electronic disturbance, and that electronic disturbance or noise will be going to act as a source of RF. Okay, due to that, it will have a sustained oscillation. It will have sustained oscillation inside this cavity. It will have sustained oscillation inside that cavity. Remember, again, this is an oscillator. We are not providing any RF input. We are not providing any RF input. Okay, from where do the signal is generating? Remember, each and every system will have a electronic disturbance, that is noise, very small. That will be taken over here and it will be amplified with respect to the interaction of this electron beam. And due to the arrangement of the system in such a way, arrangement of the circuit apparatus in such a way, it will have sustained oscillation. It will be going on and on. Okay, so that small noise is going to be amplified with respect to this Applegate diagram explanation, as what we have explained, as what we have discussed earlier. Okay, let us discuss this Applegate diagram again. This is ER. We can say this is ER is nothing but the reference electrode, reference electron. Okay, this EE is nothing but the early electron, and this EL is nothing but the late electron. Okay, this E is nothing but the early electron, and EL is nothing but the late electron. Okay, now over here, all these three electrons will repel, will rebound or reflect in such a way that they will meet at this point. Electron bunch. This electron bunch is going to happen over here. This electron bunch is going to happen over here. Remember, again, let us discuss. When an electron is moving from this point to this point towards the repeller, due to the potential applied, negative potential applied at the repeller electrode, electron will come back. Electron will come back. Electron will come back. They will come back with respect to the position of the interaction with the signal. With respect to interaction of the signal, that is late electron, reference electron and early electron. All these three electrons will travel with the modification in the velocity, and that is known as velocity modulation of electron. Okay, all these three electrons will try to meet up at this particular point. It will try to meet up at this particular point, and that is known as electron bunch. This point will come over here. As all the electrons are coming back, they will get bunch over here. Now this bunch of electron will transfer energy to the AC signal. This bunch of electron will transfer an energy to an AC signal. Remember, this bunch of electron will transfer the energy to an AC signal present in the cavity. Okay, that is due to sustained oscillations. And from there an RF will be taken. Okay, from that an RF output signal will be taken. Okay, so I think this will be cleared with respect to reflex klystron. Again, one more thing I want to highlight over here, that is, you can see these plates. These plates are nothing but for focusing. Okay, this is nothing for the focusing of electron beam. Okay, these plates are nothing but for the focusing of electron beam. These plates were also present in the two cavity klystron and reflex klystron. I think we might have forgotten to discuss about that, but those boats are having to focus the electron beam. Means it will not deviate the electron beam such like that. It will only try to allow the electron beam to travel in a single path. It will allow the electron beam to travel in a single path. Okay, it will not allow to deviate. Okay, this is wrong and this is right. Okay, it will not allow to deviate. That is the importance of focusing focusing that beams. Okay, focusing of electron beam. So this was all about the reflex klystron. Okay, now we will go for the next topic, that is again an amplifier. What we will discuss in the next topic is traveling wave tube. Okay, we will discuss TWT, that is traveling wave tube. Okay, here it is, TWT, traveling wave tube. Okay, we will discuss TWT, that is traveling wave tube. Okay, now you imagine that suppose you have already reached the maximum number of cavities that you can arrange over here. Okay, you can have maximum number of cavities that you can arrange over here, and you will have the amplification. You will have the amplification. Okay, over here you will have the amplification, and rest all part you can imagine that number of things are there. Now you think about that at which point or at which place you will be having the interaction between the electron beam, that is, this is the electron beam, this is the electron beam, okay, red is the electron beam, and this green is AC signal. Green is the AC signal. You can think about that you are having the interaction between the AC signal and this electron beam at 4 particular points. That is, one is over here, second is over here, third is over here, and fourth is over here. Okay? This AC signal and the beam of an electron are just interacting for a particular places. Now suppose if I increase the interaction between this DC signal and AC signal, okay, this DC this electron beam and AC signal, if I increase the interaction between electron beam and AC signal, or more precisely you can say that RF signal. RF signal, more precisely you can say that RF signal, if you increase the interaction, then you will have more amplification. Okay, you will get more and good quality of amplification. So what is the solution of that to increase the interaction? The solution is TWT. The solution is TWT. The solution is TWT, that is traveling wave tube. Traveling wave tube is the solution to increase the interaction between electron beam and RF signal. You can over here you can see you will have one interaction. This is second interaction. This is one interaction. This is second interaction. This is third interaction, and this will be the fourth interaction. Okay. If you increase the interaction between the electron beam and RF signal, you will have more amplification, or the system will be more balanced, or the system will be more easier to handle. Okay, system will be more productive, it will be more efficient. So for that purpose, traveling wave tube is used. Remember, traveling wave tube is being used. Okay, let us see what is the basic construction of TWT. So this is the first one is the physical construction, and the second one is the scheme of anyway, we will continue with this schematic electrode arrangement. The first one that is figure A is the physical construction. This is the physical construction. This is the physical construction, okay, of TWT. And the second one, B, is the schematic. Okay, is the schematic. B is the schematic electrode arrangement. We'll see one by one everything that what is going to be happen over here. As in the same way, what we have studied in two cavity klystron and multi-cavity klystron and reflex, we will have an electron gun. We will have an electron gun. We will have a collector, electron collector over here, and we will have a cathode to complete the circuit. Now, instead of cavity, we will have a helical coil. We will have a helix. That is helix. Okay. We will have a helical coil. That is more precisely known as helix, which is being bounded. Okay. You can see this is being bounded like this. Okay, here is the input, here is the output. These 2 points, input and output. Now, when a beam of electron is passing through this, when a beam of electron is passing through this, as from the picture itself, it will be clear to us that it will have more interaction. This is containing the RF signal. This is containing the RF signal. This is the electron beam. Electron beam. Okay? As from the figure itself, you can see, you can imagine that RF signal will have, okay, RF signal will have more interaction, more number of interaction to the electron beam as compared to the previous klystron amplifiers. Over here, the number of wounds of helix, or the number of turns of this helical coil, of this helix or helical coil, is responsible for the maximum interaction, of RF and this RF and electron beam. So this number of wound is responsible. Each wound over here, each wound will have the interaction between, each turn will have the interaction between the electron beam and RF signal. In each interaction, this electron beam will try to impart an energy on RF signal. It will try to give energy to RF signal, and with the passing of each turns of helical coil, RF signal will become more power. RF signal will become more stronger with the increase in the power, okay, with respect to moving ahead with respect to times and passing through number of helical coils. Okay, so I think this is more clear, and how it is working. Let us see the schematic electrode arrangement. We can see anode and cathode is there, electron 1 is there. So over here we have cathode, we have anode, and that is forming an electron gun. Again, for this construction, we used to have an helical coil. This is the helix. This is the helical coil. You can see this is the cavity through which the electron will pass. Okay, this is the electron through pass. This is through which the electron will pass, and you will have this kind of helical coil. Okay, you can imagine that how the coil will be associated, and you will have a collector over here to collect the electron beams, and you will take the input and output. This is RF, this is RF. Okay, so this is the schematic of electrode arrangement, and this is all about the traveling wave tube. Okay, so we are completing over here traveling wave tubes, then two cavity klystron, multi cavity klystron, reflex klystron, and TWT, the last one. Okay, so this is all about today's lecture. Okay, thank you.